the same time, Thomas knows that Tree has so many monsters that he doesn't have. What does Thomas prioritize in pre-ban? We'll see. They have a whole minute to decide, but if I were to see Thomas, I would probably start by taking out one of the LDs or even a Hathor, knowing that he's not going to be able to have a Hathor unless he pulled him recently.
Yep, we're going to find out right now. Pre-ban's going through. Nephthys getting pre-banned by Thomas. And Jet, Tree doing his homework there, getting pre-banned by Tree.
Great move by Tree. Clearly has done his homework, even as a #1 seed, always prepared, and that's why he's always at the top here. See Thomas taking out the Nephthys, smart move, and going for the Molly off the bat.
Interesting to see that Molly immediately getting picked by Thomas.Sea. Tree responding with a Ganny Hathor. You just don't allow that through.
And I actually really love C. Thomas's picks of Juno here. Fran's a little interesting because Fran does not do a lot against Ganny Hathor, but Juno really strong with artifacts, Molly as well. Tree responding with the Vigor artifact.
And Tree is very confident in his draft. He went with that Vigor, he went with that Ada. Thompson is trying to respond after seeing those units. We see the Ciara coming out, he's got one last pick.
And to me, this signals probably a ban on the Hathor. This Ciara, after artifacts, is going to do a lot of damage on the auto attacks. Look for it to do about 1.5k plus hit per auto. I know that Thomas and a lot of his friends generally draft that way. Tree's rounding the draft with Ileana, very secure pick here. It's going to give him a lot of cooldown reduction as he's able to manipulate turns with that Ileana.
Yep, this is a very, very strong draft for Tree. Like you said, Van's going to be coming out shortly. We're going to really find out how this match is going to be working out for the both of them.
I would not be surprised to see a Juno ban because Ileana's the last pick and it gives immunity. So great bans by Tree. Thomas does not want to deal with the immunity, so he's going to get Ganny Hathor, and we'll see if Molly is able to help him stay alive long enough.
Yep, fantastic call on that. Let's see if Thomas can make his way through Tree, or is Tree really going to show that kind of power? Here we go, guys. Round one between Tree and Thompson, with Hathor taking the first kill, getting that sleep onto Fran.
And actually does land his skills, so now Tree has a Vigor speed buffing a Ganny Hathor combination. That Sierra is going to be able to do some damage, but at the same time, there's a lot of healing from Tree.
Yep, really needed that stun from the bomb, received that stun. You can see the revenge coming out from Ada. No despair stun onto that Ciara. Ciara's going to cycle a little bit of attack bar, attacking that Hathor. Does get despair stun by Ada.
Yeah, but again, that Ganny Hathor, that Hathor is at full health again. But if you notice, that Sierra is very tanky. Only does about 900 to a K per auto attack, but did not take much damage from the Arda.
Yeah, Ganymede really looking for that glancing to really help that third skill of Elucia, not receiving it. Vigor looking to pile in a little bit more damage onto Elucia.
And that miss of a defense break is giant on that Elucia. That allows that Elucia to survive for many turns and let C. Thomas get his units back online.
Yeah, I'm curious how well this Molly pick is going to be working out for Thomas. We're going to see how this match plays on. You can see that massive damage coming from Ada onto Ciara, and Hathor looking to put everyone to sleep here.
I mean, this is going to be a long match. We have triple heals on C. Thomas' side. Tree does have to down that Sierra, so that's going to be his target of choice. If he can land a defense break, Tree is going to take over.
Yep, nice ventilate back onto the Hathor. Hathor's got full skills once again. Are we going to see that third skill coming out, or is he going to save it as many units are going to be sleeping? And he does. He uses that third skill, putting everybody down for 2 turns once again.
Yeah, and we're just looking for, Tree's just looking for an opportunity to sink that defense break, and at the same time needs a proc on Ganny or Hathor at some point. Molly providing a lot of heals with his passive. Pretty tough to break through.
Yep, I think Tom's going to need a little bit of RNG here. You just don't let Ganny Hathor through. There's way too much control with this. Ganymede coming in, getting that reset, and a stun onto that Fran.
And that Fran is defense broken, which means it's going to go down soon. Tree has units moving next.
Yep, there's that ventilate combination right back onto Hathor. We know exactly how that team's going to be working here. Ada pummeling in massive damage onto the Fran. Fran is still holding on, though.
And you see here, Tree's units were all able to take a turn before C. Thomas's. Thomas did not proc, and that's going to be the end of Fran here. That's the difference in rune quality that you see.
That's right. So you can see that third skill did come up from Hathor. Ganymede was able to finish off that Fran. Ciara is not asleep, though.
At the same time, I can't say this is over yet. Ciara is taking a lot more damage, but Ciara does do a lot of damage when it does go off.
Yeah, Hathor was looking for that attack break, so does attack broken bomb, but no worries. Ganymede's going to be there to reset that unit, and it looks like Tree's going to continue pummeling damage into that Ciara.
I take back what I said about this not being over. This looks pretty over. That Sierra's in a lot of trouble here. C. Thomas is going to need procs on every unit, every turn to come back.
And he needs those procs from Molly. Molly is a newly buffed unit. A lot of healing is coming from this unit, especially with the artifacts being brought into the game, and now great glancing being applied onto the CR to stop that cycling with first skill.
I mean, this is just the power of Ganny Hathor here. There's nothing C. Thomas can do, even with triple heals and a very tanky CR here. I mean, he's on the back foot. Once his defense break sinks in, it's over.
Ooh, no defense break is going to be landing there. I mean, once again, this is just the result of letting Ganny Hathor through. You just don't do it, and this is why.
Yeah, and at this point, Tree's taking his time thinking about his moves here. Does Sealed Magic on that Sierra, and Sierra's going to go down with this Artemail hit.
And there it is. And Sierra does drop, and we're going to see the new unit focus, and no need for that. Tree smashes round one in against Thomas. Wow. I mean, once again, it's exactly what it is. You do not let the Ganny Hathor through. It is just way too strong of a team to play against.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough, too, in this matchup because Thomas does not have Ganny Hathor. So there's not really many options he has, and I think you almost have to just get rid of the Hathor and just deal with the Ileana Ganny and pray he misbans on and doesn't take out the Juno. But Tree, being smart, being experienced, does make the correct ban, and that's why that turned out as such.
Do you think it's smart for Tree to be drafting that Ganny Hathor that early, knowing that he doesn't have it? Is it smart to just lay it down on the table and say, this is what you're going up against?
I mean, I think it's always a great neutral option. You're also assuming that Tree knows that Thomas doesn't have these units and may not know that. So there could be two factors at play here. But here, we note the pre-bans from Thomas taking out that Hathor, Tree taking out that Fran. So Thomas here, and Tree also gets first pick, takes the Molly away.
Takes the Molly. What a dirty move by Tree, stealing a unit away from Thomas when Tree can even draft 2 units that Thomas doesn't even have himself. But we're going to see how Thomas is going to be dealing here. He brings out a Ciara first pick.
And I'm not exactly sure I actually like the Molly first pick from Tree because it puts him at risk of basically needing to play a turn 2 comp, and Thomas with that Sierra, that auto attacks and those bombs ignore Molly passive, right? That bomb really ignores Molly passive, so it's going to allow, I think, give Thomas an edge up. I actually really like Thomas's response here. 2 speed leads on the board here, and a lot of damage from Sierra.
Yep, Tree is showing an Ileana right now. 1 more unit brings out that Ganymede. Thomas once again doesn't have that Ganymede. He needs to respond. Does he think that Hathor is going to be coming out?
Yeah, I love this Juno play in the Diana. Of course, when you're the underdog, you do need to pray to RNG a little bit. Need to get a few procs. Even though Tree does have the Artemail, Diana does not have to transform every turn. Tree, again, you have so many LDs in the back pocket. You know, which one do you take? Do you take the Oberon? Do you take the Nephthys? I think either play is okay here, but if he takes the Nephthys, he almost has to ban out that Juno.
Yep, Tree's got plenty of options. He's showing the ADA. He's got 1 last pick to wrap up his draft here. Looking to 2-0 Thompson. If he can get it here, he does bring in the Nephthys.
Interesting LD draft. Okay, Thomas is showing us that he also has LDs. Nikki actually a very strong unit. Giving attack buff on skill 3 and then possibly despair summoning and also recovering the team. Brings in a Louise?
This might be the first Louise I've seen in SWC. Interesting to see the Louise as the last pick coming from Thompson. And you can see bans have gone out. Juna getting banned on Thomas' side of the field and Ada getting banned on Tree's side of the field.
Actually, very interesting to note that Tree does not have a stripper. I mean, Molly kind of strips, but it doesn't. I really like that last pick from Thomas. Great picks there.
Yep, here we go, guys. We've got round 2 between Tree and Thomas. Let's see how this works out for them. And we have Wadjet taking first turn.
Wadjet taking first turn guarantees that Thomas is going to have protection from immunity, and he's going to need his Sierra and Diana to do a lot of work early on.
Yep, and Thomas gets his shields and immunity up with that Louise. Diana possibly looking to get a stun onto the Nephthys and not receiving that stun.
Yeah, and obviously Diana can't transform because of the potential glancing and the fact that everything else on the field has full attack bars. But look to see this Diana pop off. That is Thomas's path to victory plus that Ciara.
Yep, you can see Tree's trying to focus in on that Diana, not wanting to hit another unit, pushing that attack bar on Diana's unicorn form here.
Yeah, and at the same time, Thomas's Sierra is just going to slowly whittle. It's going to actually do a lot of damage with its autos, and that's Thomas's goal here. So Sierra's not a dead pick in this situation.
Yep, Molly looking for strip, not receiving any strips here. We have a bomb getting planted onto that Molly. The Molly's usually ruined on 100% resistance, not pulling through in this case.
Yeah, and actually the unlucky proc by Molly there is shaking off immunity. That's how he was able to get bombed there.
And looking for a stun, not receiving a stun here. Diana possibly going to cycle. Possibly. We may see a second skill or just a stun going out onto Molly.
It's tough. It's a gamble here because it's 20% glancing, but I think if you're the underdog, you may want to take that risk.
And Curse of the Beautiful coming out from Nefties, getting all sorts of negative effects on that Diana and Ciara.
And if I was Tree, I would be thinking about trying to do more damage onto Ciara. Ciara is the squishier unit here. Does use skill 2 from the Ileana to shake off that bomb, so he does not have it anymore.
Blends up that bomb with Ileana, boosting up the attack bar of Ileana as well. And you can see the damage is getting focused onto Diana.
Yeah, and actually this Ciara needs to do a little bit more damage. Only does about 800 to 900 per hit, so can't really function as the auto attacker that we see it do on the ladder.
We're going to see the first transformation coming out of Diana, looking to get a strip, and does not receive the strip on that invincibility sitting on top of Neftis.
Yeah, and good enough though. He shakes out the immunity, but again, does not land the stun, so unfortunate.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. Jet looking for a little bit of, not poke damage onto Neftis, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think at this point, Thomas is just kind of looking for an opening, but doesn't really have it. Ganny, with that skill 3 coming up, is going to be able to dump attack bars on Thomas's side, and again, swing more momentum in Tree's favor.
And there you have it. Seal of Magic going out on Ciara, dumping attack bars on everybody, and receiving that additional turn for some glancing on top of Diana.
And this is a slow war of attrition here, but at the same time, I really like Thomas's draft later because he has burst. So we'll see how this goes out. We're going to go into the later phases of the game, though. And
there's those defense breaks going out because of that Neftis. Obviously, the unit of focus is trying to remove that CR from the field. And Diana looking for that stun onto Neftis, not receiving it. Louise hoping for a stun onto Neftis and still not receiving that either.
Yeah, Thomas needs to find a way to get the Ciara to come online and be able to drop a bomb. It is constantly being reset and constantly being silenced. That Luis is also being controlled, so that's what the battle is about right now.
Yep, you can see the poke damage going out onto Diana. Diana almost coming down to half, going to transform here.
Interesting choice of transform, but again, he's looking at the attack bars of 3 units on the field. They're quite low, so he's taking the gamble. I do like that gamble from him.
Yep, those are big gambles that need to happen. This is SWC, and he needs to make some serious plays here. Can he receive the stun? And Ileana does not. And we're going to see Curse the Beautiful once again coming out, dealing damage to everybody, but ultimately getting that defense break silence onto these units.
Yeah, that's a 2-turn defense break, so that's a lot of damage that's going to be coming. And as the game goes on, these support units from Tree side will do a lot more damage.
Thomas cannot receive a stun with any of these units. He was hoping for a stun there on the Ileana, not receiving. Gets shields and immunity up from the Louise.
That was a giant proc. That's exactly what Thomas was waiting for, was to be able to get that immunity and that shield. And that proc allowed him to do that. So we'll see some momentum switch in terms of Thomas's favor here.
Most definitely. So Ileana was able to boost back up that Ganymede. Ganymede going for some poke damage onto the Diana. Gets the additional turn as well. We're probably going to see a little bit more poke damage. And goes to the ventilate back onto Neftis.
Yeah, and Tree's looking for the next turn around. Once immunity shakes off, he wants to be able to dump that defense break and doesn't want to waste Ganny cooldowns there.
Yep, Tree with a lot of sustain, having that Molly on the field. More poke damage coming onto the defense broken Diana. Diana still holding on, and we get that anti-crit coming up from the Wadjet.
Yeah, so ultimately, the Diana does get invincibility, but this Diana's health is actually going down here. So actually, Tree's looking okay. His health is pretty full, but we'll see how much damage this bomb does if it's able to go off.
Like you said, War of Atricious. Oh, here we go. Bomb does land on the Neftis. He's going to set this off. He needs to get rid of the Neftis, and he does! Whoa, Thompson finally catches the break that he needed, getting that kill onto Neftis.
That was giant. That proc by Ciara, super lucky, prayed to RNG gods and was answered, was able to detonate that bomb, and actually that swings the match a lot.
Exactly. Now Diana pummeled a lot of damage into the Ganymede. Ganymede going for the reset and attack bar dump onto the Ciara, hoping to apply glancing on the Diana, not getting it. Can Molly drop the Diana? And does so!
Yeah, at this point here, though, Thomas has a lot more damage, so as long as he can keep that Ciara up, he will be the winner, even if it doesn't drop a bomb. Those autos do a lot.
Yep, Louise still begging for that stun, not receiving a stun onto anyone, trying to stun up the Ganymede and not getting it.
Yeah, and if I'm Thomas, I'm just whittling down the Ileana, just taking out shield, just trying to find an opening and trying to keep my Ciara alive here.
Yep, still trying to get rid of that Ciara, just like you're saying, and does apply that glancing coming from Ganymede.
And that was a lot of damage coming out from that Ganymede onto that Ciara, just from the auto attacks.
Yep, a lot of times passing right now. We all know that HP's going down, attack bar's going up.
And so Ileana here, it's got skill 2, but its skill 3 is on cooldown for quite a while here. So he's going to be open to a bomb at some point, but he's looking for that vent combo from the Ganymede.
Yep, there is the vent combination and the additional turn, once again coming from Ganymede.
Yeah, so Thomas needs the Ciara to proc so it can do a lot more auto damage. The auto damage actually matters a lot here. Ileana does have skill 3, which it will use to protect itself next.
Yep, you can see Louise trying to pummel in some damage on top of that Molly, but once again, the Ileana, but once again, Molly's passive just so strong, so much sustain. There's the additional turn, just healing everybody up to full.
And Tree again is at full health again. That Molly so much, but at the same time, he's got detonate.
He needs a detonate, and he does get the kill onto the Molly. Ciara finally getting that window.
I mean, at this point, I think we're going to see a game 3 here. I mean, at this point, Thomas can almost auto.
Yep, honestly, he really could at this point. We thought Tree had all the sustain in the world, and he did, but Ciara got the windows.
I mean, what a match here. I mean, this Ciara is going to be doing a lot more damage here. Tree needs to find a way to destroy the Ciara, but at the same time, Thomas also has healing from the Luis.
Yep, he does. Once again, another additional turn coming out of Ganymede. He got the reset onto Ciara. Great poke damage. Gets that glancing as well to stop that Ciara cycle with first skill.
Yeah, but we see this Luis is going to be able to protect that Ciara, and again, Tree does not have strips available, so that Ciara will have some turns.
Yep, definitely wishing he had the old Ganymede who could strip with skill 1. That's not going to happen here. Vanelli goes right back onto the Ileana.
Yeah, but the Ciara might go down. Hopefully it does more damage. It does not. This Ileana is going to be able to reset cooldowns a lot. But again, Thomas has heals. Thomas has 2 full HP units.
Yep, that's right. I think Tree is going to need a little bit more RNG just to take out the Ciara, because if he does remove the Ciara, not a lot of damage is going to be here on the table for either one of them.
A defense buff does matter a lot here. And at the same time, Ganny just procced out of immunity and invincibility.
Yep, exactly. I mean, that's looking really good for Ciara right now. He goes to boost up his Ganymede, but is it going to be enough? Gets the ventilate back onto Ileana, and here we go. Ciara does plant bomb on a Ganymede. Not looking good. We're looking at a win condition right now. Into a violent proc. He's going to be detonating this bomb, and that is going to be it for Tree. Thomas makes the correct moves and takes round 2 away. Holy cow.
My mind is blown. We just saw see Thomas take a win against Tree, who's been so dominant so many years. I have to give credit to all those Ciara procs that allowed him to get out of that Nef to silence, that allowed him to drop that bomb, proc into a detonate, which allowed him to burst down units. And this is why you don't take Molly first, because Ciara just punishes it, and that's exactly what Thomas did.
That's right. I think we're going to see a very, very different match going into Game 3 with Thomas and Tree. There's the pre-bans from last match. The Woodjet, the, Nefties.
And it makes sense here. Tree does not want to fight against that Wedge at that defense buff, and that speed lead made that draft very difficult. At the same time, also protected Thomas's team. And Thomas again taking out that Neftis because defense break hurts.
Yep, and there's Thompson with that Thomas with that first pick taking the Molly. Tree is going to respond just like that first match. Ganny, Hathor, this might be a different outcome. Let's see if Thomas can make the correct decisions here.
And I actually like the way Thomas has opened up with the draft here. I just think he needs to take away the Ganny Hathor combo. So it might be a ban on the Hathor or the ban on the Ganny. Either is okay, but he can't let those two be there.
Yep, these two are very, very quick to draft. They know what they want here. You see Ciara and Alucia wrapping up Thomas' draft. Tree looking to wrap up his draft possibly with an Ileana.
And so we know when he drops that Ileana last, Juno will be the ban. The question is, what does Thomas ban out here? Because we know match one was very commanding victory in Tree's side. Yeah. So I really think the ban has to be either the Ganny or the Hathor.
He has to split it. You cannot let that team through. Ganny Hathor is just way too strong of a combination.
Or another option is also to take out the Vigor to remove the defense break so Tree does not have burst, which is also an option. But again, goes after the Hathor, takes out the Ganny Hathor combo. Fran is taken out instead of Juno. Interesting choice.
Yep, speed lead for Thompson. Hoping for that first turn over Tree. Accuracy lead for Tree. We are going into Game 3 with Thomas and Tree. Here we go, guys. Very important match. And again, we're going to be taking first turn here. Seal of Magic coming out onto the Juno.
And Thomas not believing in Will runes and decides not to put Will on Molly or Lucia. Common builds, but in a tournament, might get punished for it.
Yep, big 3-turn defense break onto the Lucia. Gains the additional turn right here. We may see a second skill. We do not. We see a first skill coming out.
Tree's reading attack bars, and actually we may not see a Lucia live. Again, Thomas is going to need to get some glances because that defense break means a lot here.
Yep, Ileana going with the shield and immunity, protecting the team here. And Ciara trying to cycle a little bit of attack bar with that first skill. Ada coming in, pulling some great damage, taking advantage of that defense break, gets that Despair Stun onto the Alucia, and another Despair Stun onto Ciara.
That's a huge amount of damage on that Alucia here. And unfortunately, it's not going to be able to proc here and does not be able to cleanse that defense break, so we're going to lose this Alucia.
Yep, we definitely are. He's going to go with the first skill. Does not able to finish off that Alucia with that defense break, but Ileana's going to be boosting up the Ada. Ada looking to finish the Alucia and does so.
Yeah, exactly. Tree knew how much damage he could do. He knew his cooldowns. Very wisely took out that Lucia. It's not over yet. We have a Ciara on the field here. Thomas is going to do a lot of damage with this.
Yep, that is correct. Bomb does get planted onto Ada. He does not resist that. Gets stunned up by that bomb as well.
But at the same time, Tree does have that Vigor, and Tree's Vigor has not used its skills yet, so that's a lot of healing that's going to come out for Arda.
Yep, great glancing being applied onto the CR. We're going to see a big strip coming from Juno, looking to get a ton of dots on everybody, and does not receive full strip, but it was enough to get the job done right now.
Yeah, at the same time, there's too many buffs on Tree's side that at some point Juno does need to use its skills. So Tree does have immunity, and there's not very much Thomas can do about it.
Yep, Molly looking for the strip. CR looking to shatter that shield on top of Ileana and not getting it here. Glancing does not get reapplied, but there's still one turn of Glancing sitting on top of CR, and we get the 3-turn defense break on top of CR as well.
Quite unlucky, actually, for Thomas. Wind unit getting defense broken by water, and so you're going to see the Sierra probably get knocked out pretty soon here.
Yep, we might see that here. He's going to go with that second scale, boosting up that Vigor. Vigor looking to apply a little bit of damage. Ada primed and ready with some strong defense-based damage, coming in to do some devastating damage, getting that Despair Stun onto Ciara.
Pretty offensive and aggressive line of play here, but I like this because Tree knows he has skill 3 up on Ganny next, so he's going to have a full another round of turns and is able to take out the Sierra soon.
Yep, exactly. Ganymede getting that reset on Molly, stopping that cleanse shield that could have been placed onto that Ciara. Thomas definitely not in a great position.
Interesting choice to go after a stun on the Ileana and not on the Artemil. Decides he doesn't care about Sierra staying in the game, and so down goes Sierra.
Yep, there you have it. I think Tree has this one won all day. He's set. He's ready to auto at this point. I think Thomas is thinking about what to do right now, and there you have it. Tree is taking round 3 away from Thomas.
Oh. I mean, what a game there. Actually, at some point, it could have gone either way, but it's just too many buffs. Juno couldn't strip any